Hello and welcome. Today's lesson topic is what death means in different cultural beliefs. In today's lesson, we'll introduce to you how different cultures see and deal with death, more importantly, their beliefs. This outline here is what we'll be talking about today and basically what this video will be about. Just a little reminder that you should always respect other people's beliefs and religions, and to please view the pictures and the facts that are shown in this video with respect, as these are all related to the deceased and religions. May peace be with those who have passed away and as well as to their family members and friends. Also, peace be with those who are taking time to watch this video and to learn about cross-cultures beliefs of death. Different cultures see death in different ways. It may be an end of life to some, but a beginning of a new cycle to others. Living in a society represented by many cultures and religious beliefs means that memorable events can be celebrated differently. This video looks at the different religious beliefs surrounding death and dying, and what funeral or burial rituals may be undertaken. Buddhists believe in rebirth and that when they die they will be reborn again. The goal is to escape the cycle of death and rebirth and attain a state of perfect peace. There are lots of different types of Buddhism and many different ways of dealing with death. Buddhists believe that the spirit leaves the body immediately but may linger in an in-between state near the body. In this case, it is important that the body is treated with respect so that the spirit can continue its journey to a happy state. The time it is believed to take for the spirit to be reborn can vary depending on the type of Buddhism practiced. The person may be either cremated or buried depending on their tradition. There may be speeches and chants on the impermanence of life. Catholics believe that there is an afterlife and that once a person dies, they will see God face to face. If a person has committed a grave offense and has not been repented at the time of death, then that person will not enter into the full glory of heaven. When a person is close to death, the family or friends ask a priest to come and pray with the sick person. After the person has passed away, the priest comforts the family and helps them prepare the funeral arrangements. The gravesite is also blessed. Christians trust they will go to heaven to be with God once they have died, and so in some respects, a funeral is a time of joy, although also sadness, as the person will be missed by friends and loved ones. If the deceased has been cremated, the ashes may be scattered. Otherwise, the ashes or body will be buried in a cemetery and marked with a gravestone to remember the deceased. In the Orthodox religion, cremation is not permitted because it is believed that we are made from earth and that we shall return to the earth. Hinduism embraces a pantheon of gods and goddesses, with individual Hindus worshipping one or more of these. Hindus believe in reincarnation. When a person dies, their soul merely moves from one body to the next on its path to reach heaven. So while it is a sad time when someone dies, it is also a time of celebration. Hindus are cremated, as they believe burning the body releases the spirit. The flames represent the Creator. Beliefs may vary depending on whether the Jewish person is Orthodox, Reform, or Conservative. Jews believe that when they die, they will go to heaven and be with God. This next world is called the world of truth. Death is seen as a part of life and a part of God's plan. The burial takes place as soon as possible following the death. A family member will throw a handful of earth in the casket with the body. This is to put the body in close contact with the earth. Jewish law says that each grave must have a tombstone to remember the deceased. And a candle is lit after returning from the cemetery to mark 7 days of mourning. There are two types of Muslims, so beliefs and customs may be slightly different for each. Muslims believe that the soul continues to exist after death. During life, a person can shape their soul for better or for worse, depending on how they live their life. Muslims believe that there will be a judgment day by Allah. Until then, the deceased remain in their graves, but on Judgment Day, they will either go to heaven or hell. Muslims accept death as God's will. The eyes of the deceased will be closed and the body is laid out with arms across their chest and their head facing Mecca. The body will be washed by family or friends. It will be wrapped in a white shroud and prayers will be said. Contact between the body and non-Muslims is discouraged. If a non-Muslim needs to touch the body, gloves should be worn. Male staff should handle male patients and female with female patients. No women are allowed to go into the graveyard. Before burial, a prayer will be recited. The body will not be cremated as this is not permitted in Islam. The deceased will be buried with their face turned to the right facing Mecca. A coffin is usually not used but a chamber dug into the grave and sealed with wooden boards so no earth touches the body. The grave will usually be simple without any fancy decorations. Scientologists believe that humans are immortal spiritual beings who live several lives. Each has a body and a mind which exists from lifetime to lifetime. When a person dies, they simply move into a next life. There are no particular protocols after a person has died. It is up to the family and the wishes of the deceased. Famous actor Tom Cruise is also a Scientologist. A Scientologist will usually be cremated, but may also be buried. If the family goes to the gravesite, some words will be said by the gravesite. And so we come to a conclusion. There are too many beliefs and rumors about death, but no one is really absolutely sure of what comes next when your time comes. It could be any of these beliefs, or it could be none of these, or maybe even all of these combined and more. I personally think that these customs are to help the living move on, maybe not really helping the dead, but still respecting them. Death is just as mysterious as anything else we can and cannot see. There is really no answer. We do all we can to seek out the answers, but in the end, what's important is just to live your life to the fullest. Your time will come one day. You'll never really know exactly when and what comes after. So seize the day, savor every moment you have with everything and everyone you can. Before we part, I would like you to think about these. Please pick 5 religious groups and compare the similarities and differences in their beliefs and practices of death and dying. And how does your culture deal with death? What is your belief of death? And why do you think it is important to respect these death customs? Just a reminder that all facts and pictures were found on Google. None of this belongs to us. All rights belong to the creators and authors that are included in the contents of this video. This video is used only for educational purposes. No harm meant to be done. A special thanks to these people here for their useful information in the articles that are showed here. Thank you for joining us. This online course is funded by the Ministry of Education. Thank you for your time and we hope to see you next time.